Somebody said this, only through our connectedness to others can we really know and enhance ourselves. And only through working on ourselves can we begin to enhance our connectedness to others. I want to talk about positive connectedness to others, how to connect positively with those around you. Because only when you connect can you actually influence and build trust. Influence comes through building trust. Good relationships comes from building trust. And so you need to have a connectivity to others. How do you do that? How do you get out of your skin and begin to connect with others? Some people are so focused on themselves they can never connect with others. So they are always in a back position. And I'm not talking about being introverted or, because hey, I'm number one introvert. I'm the person that can walk into a room, not talk to anybody, and be totally happy with myself. I used to go to gym, and Michelle, she's totally different. She'll walk into a gym, she knows everybody. Her gym time was her social time. But for me, as I go in, don't talk to anybody, train and leave, except when I connected with somebody positively. And then I work towards helping them shift things in their life, help them to be better themselves. So, but the thing about it is to have positive connectedness actually helps us know ourselves. But our connectiveness, working on ourselves, helps us to get connected positively to others. So the reason you need to work on yourself and build good connections, it means it opens up the whole world for you. You see, the world is not looking for sales pitches anymore. If you're in business, they don't want this false narrative. They don't want this facade, this put on person, this kind of flashy person, but two different kind of people. They don't like a flashy person selling them anymore. Sales today is about being connected, building relationship. Marketing today is relationship marketing. It's not about pitch marketing. It's not about being this kind of put on this whole personality thing, and to try and flatter and be flirtatious and what's another good word for it? But you know what I'm saying is to flirt and seduce, and then ultimately is to manipulate people into a decision. People hate that. I hate that. I go into a store and I see somebody coming with this flashy kind of, I just back out of there, I'm thinking about it. But somebody who comes who is authentic, I want to know what they have to say. I'm looking for authenticity. People want authenticity. To have good connections, you've got to have authenticity. To have authenticity, you've got to actually be transparent. There's got to be a transparency about you. There's got to be something that they can look into you. That's where the word intimacy comes from. Intimacy is that you're able to reveal something of yourself. Now, I want to tell you about two factors that are involved in developing transparency so that you actually get to authenticity. And those two things is, one, are you prepared to solicit feedback from people? Are you prepared to ask for people's insight into your behavior, into how they see your life? Because the more you open up yourself to people, asking people to tell you what they see, the more they feel connected, the more real they feel, the more able they feel to connect with you, because you are not insecure. And that's the problem. We don't want people to tell us what they see because we're too insecure about what they can see that we don't want them to see. Not only that, but we're insecure about what they can see that we don't even know about ourselves. And so there's a blind spot in our life that we just don't want anybody to tell us what they see because we don't know what we see. But the thing about it is is great. A place to start for developing transparency, for authenticity, is to actually ask people, what do you see? When I'm working when I'm coaching and mentoring clients, we often start with, and I always try and start there with a 360-degree an assessment, an evaluation, asking their peers, asking their different people in their life, clients, customers, suppliers, whoever they work with, spouse, different people, asking them how they perceive them and in their leadership, in their role, etc. Always a good place to start, because you get a good view of the areas that you can work on. It doesn't have to be negative. You don't have to do this introspection kind of thing, but it's just good to get a good view of what people see in your life. Because when you do, the other factor to build transparency for authenticity is to actually share. How much are you prepared to offer about you? Tell people really, how much are you prepared to reveal yourself to people? I mean, the real you, the real you, the real Mr., the real Mrs., the real Miss or Master. Who's the real you? Is the real you prepared to share who the real you is, or do you hide behind something? You know, there's factors when we're talking to businesses. This is often the case, is that there's a perception of who you think you are, then who you think others think you are, then who you want them to think you are, and then who you really are. I don't know if you got that, but those are 4 factors, and many times in our little world, is that who we really are is clouded by all the things that we think others should think we are, that we think we are, or that we want others to think we are. But the real I are is not being revealed. But when you've got the 2 things, when you're actually sharing who you really are and you're giving of yourself to people, firstly, and secondly, you're prepared to actually ask them what their perception is, what they see in us, you begin to open up. That's called the open area of your relationship. You open up that area and you begin to build trust and positive connection with people. When you do, they see you transparent, they see you authentic, and trust is developed. When trust is developed, you can begin to influence. It's all about influencing people. Is not about manipulation. Influencing people is not about pushing and giving some kind of personality flair where you are the main man, and you can basically flirt and seduce and manipulate people into accepting what you have to say. That is so false, because ultimately some way people discover the real you, because you cannot keep a facade too long. You can only deceive so many people for so long. You can't deceive all the people all the time. You can only deceive some of the people some of the time. And ultimately, somewhere, the real you will come out and will appear to others. So what I want to share with you today is just those 2 things. Is, ask people, what do they see? How would they describe you? But sometimes it starts with you giving first. It's first you sharing with where you are, who you are, and being transparent about who you are. The more you do that, the more connectivity you make. The more connectivity you make, the more you work on who you are. And that's the bottom line.